While you and I are just kind of hanging out. And do you see what I put on the top of the screen there? It's George Magazine, Bill Gates, February 1997, Plandemic. And then on the right side of that, it says recapping 060606, Microsoft patent HR 6666 Trace Act.
I remember that one.
Yep,
yes.
So
I don't see anything yet because of our lag.
Well, it's coming up. I see it on there now. So let's talk about Bill Gates, and let's talk about let's go down the rabbit hole of Mr. William Gates Jr.
Yes, I see. I know exactly what issue of George you are talking about because I actually have.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another. But we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
My fellow Americans, this evening I come to you with a message of leave-taking and farewell, and to share a few final thoughts with you, my countrymen. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Acquisition of unwarranted influence, we must guard against. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
You have to realize this is one of the great presidents, great military leaders. On his way out the door, at the end of his second term, he says, by the way, watch out for the military-industrial complex.
People know that he invented the phrase military-industrial complex, but very rarely do you see the whole thing and realize how utterly strident his warning was. I think it's one of the most profound statements ever made by an American president.
Just like George Washington gave his warnings about foreign entanglements and things like that, my dad was giving his warning against letting this military-industrial complex get out of hand.
We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes.
The military-industrial complex. Shortly after becoming president, Dwight Eisenhower claimed that every gun made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies theft from those who hunger and are not fed, are cold and not clothed. 8 years later, Eisenhower warned Americans to guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence by the military-industrial complex, which he defined as the conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry. In the 1930s, Smedley Butler explained how the military subsidized private companies, but it wasn't until the Second World War Eisenhower noted that America developed a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. So how did this come about? After Germany invaded Poland, President Franklin Roosevelt convinced Congress to approve his cash and carry program to sell arms to France and Britain. The following year, he replaced cash and carry with Lend-Lease, which loaned weapons to cash-strapped allies. Lend-Lease established the precedent of American subsidization of foreign armies. Upon joining the war in 1941, the U.S. government urged patriots to enlist in the battle for production. Propaganda reminded Americans that production wins wars, and heroic images of factory workers likened weapons manufacturing to military service. FDR's wartime policies mirrored his earlier New Deal, based on the ideas of economist John Maynard Keynes. During recessions, Keynes believed governments should stimulate demand by printing money to spend on public works. FDR applied this formula to his New Deal programs, but after 9 years, the economy remained in shambles. The war allowed FDR to shift to what's known as military Keynesianism. Because inflationary military spending artificially boosts GDP, gross domestic product, and military enlistment reduces unemployment, military Keynesianism produced the wartime prosperity myth. Many people believe the war ended the Great Depression, despite the countries facing shortages of basic goods, such as sugar and butter. Eisenhower understood the problem. The cost of one modern heavy bomber, he said, could pay for 30 schools, 2 power plants, 2 hospitals, 50 miles of highway, or 500,000 bushels of wheat. But the arms industry had become a fixture of the American economy. In an early draft of his farewell address, Eisenhower described this as the military-industrial congressional complex. Political scientists call this the iron triangle of connected interests. Congress passes legislation to benefit an interest group, military contractors, in return for political support. The interest group lobbies Congress on behalf of a bureaucracy, the military establishment, in exchange for special treatment. And the bureaucracy receives significant increases in its own funding to administer federal policy. This dynamic has resulted in annual military expenditures of $800 billion. That's more than the next 9 largest military budgets combined. The military-industrial complex made America the de facto arms dealer for the world, and the U.S. military presence grew to having 700 military bases across 80 countries. The military-industrial complex also allowed America to fight a new kind of war by funneling weapons to foreign soldiers to fight what are known as proxy wars.
What about the bioweapons that supposedly America had there, and they tried to say like no, and then when it was brought up, they openly admitted yes, we have biological weapons in Ukraine.
Do they call it biological weapons, or do they call it? What do they call it?
I don't know. It was like biological, whatever.
Right, some biolab.
Some biolab, whatever.
Yeah, that's what everybody wonders. Like when you talk about biolabs, like how much of that is like, how much of this is like military applications? Like what?
Right.
How much of this stuff is it 0%? I don't think it's 0%. I'm sure they must work on some things because I know that other countries work on things. I interviewed a guy back in the day who worked for the Soviet Union, and he had defected, and it was for this sci-fi show, and he was explaining to me how they have like giant supplies of anthrax. and their biological weapons program was very robust. Like they have a real biological weapons program filled with shit that could kill everybody.
But my issue is
there was something about that.
Yeah.
According to what I'm
the
researching,
New York
but-
Times says it's unfounded. Let's just move
Well,
away.
that's- I'm going-
Let's
everyone-
just
there you
move
go.
on to the next subject.
So, but that's
I wouldn't
what
know what
I'm
to
saying. If they lied to you, you caught them lying. Why do we believe anything we're seeing?
Yeah, but do we know though?
That's what I'm saying.
But the problem is we don't know either. It's like weapons of mass destruction, right, in Iraq.
Right.
In the beginning, everybody thought that was what was really going on, and that we were going in there to stop this from happening because we realized like this guy is funding terrorism and he's got weapons of mass destruction. He's going to kill us all. But it turns out to not be true at all.
Yeah,
Right?
but
Is
the
that- but is
people that
that-
pushed that narrative knew it wasn't true.
Yeah, well,
And they funded it very well, and a lot of people got murdered, like innocent people that still come back with no legs. They don't get funded, and they're watching, Trans Guy of the Year, and they're special, and their legs got blown off for a cause, and they're sitting there in a fucking van that drives them around electrical. That's pretty fucked up.
yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
It's
and
fucked
I know,
up that
no
like,
like
one's held accountable for that. That's
no
what's
one's
crazy.
held accountable. So why am I going to believe everything they're telling me about Russia and Ukraine? And why even this is what drives me nuts about humanity's better. You're a fucking leader. There's so many leaders that are just regular people now. Why do you need government or your officials telling you where you're going to fight? If someone came in here right now and they said, Joe, you need to come across the street and fight, you just going to go fight? No, you're going to go, whoa. The fuck am I doing? Don't worry about what we're doing. We're going to tell you what to do. Haven't they failed enough with lying and getting us into these positions? If
Yeah.
regular people talk to one, I guarantee if you did a fucking podcast with real humans in Russia, real humans in Ukraine, real humans everywhere, the people in control get scared real fucking quick because they'll see we all have a deeper connection. We want to be with one another.
Bum, bum, bum.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Great American Podcast. Jeff and Steve's Off the Cuff, where everything American matters. Appreciate y'all being here. Good to see you guys. I see that we got Mr. Todd and On in the chat. T600 Jefferson, thank you, sister, for always sharing out our videos. I appreciate that.
Yes, TJ, thank you very much.
We also got DG in the chat. Looks like Miss Cammy's here. Good to see you, sister. Who else we got there? So anyways,
DG is in the house. DG is in the house.
my ninja. So,
Ninja.
Jeff, how are you doing, brother? Long time no see. What was it? Wait, yesterday?
Too long.
So, yeah,
It just
too long.
sucks. I got to travel. It just sucks. I got to travel so far to see John all the time.
I know. Gosh, the next.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
So, Johnny, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good to see you, man.
They canceled my overtime day.
Well, that's all right. At least you're here.
Yes.
We'll put you to work. We'll put you to work, brother. So I started off the show today talking with the military-industrial complex, and I kind of think it leads into what we were talking about yesterday, and everybody that's going on about what's going on in Israel between Hamas and Israel. And what we have to remember is the military-industrial complex is a real thing. It's a real thing, and that's put on by leaders, selected leaders, not elected leaders, selected leaders, and it's been put on for a long time. So that way they can rob from us, because that's what they do. They rob from the taxpayers to fund these wars. And, there's a lot of infighting going on right now, even in the movement. And I've noticed it on Twitter, a lot of infighting and people picking sides and whatnot. And I'm on the page of, I pick humanity, number one. I think that all war is horrendous. And I think that it's not right for any side to be doing what they're doing. But we have to remember, it's the globalists that are funding this. And they fund both sides. We talked about it a few episodes ago, how the central banks and the banking industries found out the best way to make money is to fund both sides of the war. So I read an article today. Guess what stocks are all up today, guys?
BlackRock.
Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin, all the military stocks are up today. They're up massive. I wonder why. No, you don't say, right? Halliburton, Lockheed Martin, all these
Well, you saw the one video I did with Tonic's Casual Affair, because if you really listen to the lyrics of the song, it's the same. That's why I picked that song. Thanks to Todd, he gave me the idea of, pick the song first and work your material around it. Great strategy because it works so much better. But when I put in there how 20 congressmen alone are invested in weapons defense, or their wives.
Well, and what we have to remember as well during why did Bush say to go into Iraq? Do you remember?
Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction that were never found. What company did Dick Cheney was he on the board of and invested in?
Not Lockheed Martin. Not Boeing. I don't know. But John, look up a video of that guy. He was retired military, and he called George Bush out about how my friends got killed because of your lie. It's recent. It's like 2 years ago or last year.
And it was Halliburton.
Oh, Halliburton. Okay.
Halliburton. So I think today, and this is off the cuff, which Jeff doesn't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what Jeff's going to talk about. I know he's got something teed up for me. Queued up, teed up. Well, there it is.
There's your hint.
There's the hint. So,
I should have gotten coffee. I should have gotten coffee because I need some coffee.
But I did
I'll be back.
All right, we'll cut you out of here for a second. I did some digging today, and I've been going down some rabbit holes because I've had a migraine all day, and I have been useless today. Literally useless. Like, I was supposed to get some stuff built today, and I didn't get around to it. I guess I did put a little video together, but that was about it. And so I started doing some research and started going down some digs because it's important for us, I think, to know that you can't trust the media. You cannot trust what anybody tells you on either side of the aisle. You can't trust our politicians. Pray before you go into doing any digs, and use discernment to make sure that what you're digging is actually correct. But I put this little video together today, and it kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to actually play it. Even though I wasn't going to play it, I'm going to play it now. It's 2 minutes long. And those of you that have seen it already, I apologize for that.
Steven, also, wasn't a Mr. Chris Cuomo caught on a hot mic saying the media is not your friend?
Yep.
Hot mic champ.
He sure was. So here we go.
I heard coffee.
Future proves past. You are the calm before and during the storm. That's why I put that together, because we have to remember, with all of the stuff coming out, remember there's a lot of propaganda coming out, a lot of craziness coming out. We are the calm before and during the storm. So what we have to remember as those of us that are fighting this war, we have to keep united, right? Keep united and not divided. And what they're trying to do is divide us. And why? Because Hamas and Israel, that's one of the ones that really pull on people's heartstrings, right? Because we know how people feel about Palestine, that they lost their country. They lost it because of the it wasn't just the Treaty of Versailles. There was one before the treaty. I forgot what it was called, but I was reading it this morning. That happened in 1916. And so they implanted the Jewish community in Israel and said that was going to be their country. Well, also think about what was going on in the last month or so on X. Those of you that are on X, a lot of anti-Semitic ADL stuff has been going on, which is kind of weird that it's leading up to this, and then all of a sudden now what happens in Israel happens, right? Because that'll tear us apart. Because if you're for Israel, then you're against Palestine. If you're for Palestine, you're against Israel. And here's the problem with that, guys. It's war. I'm not for any team on war. I'm not for the killing of anybody. God doesn't want anybody to be killed. So, the important part of what I put out there was that we have to remember that we are the calm during the storm. We need to stay calm. We need to 24 to 48 hours to 72 hours before getting emotional on anything that comes out. Remember that, guys. There's going to be a lot of false flag events that are happening and that are going to happen, and they're trying to get us to World War III. So if you can lead off of that, that's yep.
Yeah, that's why you're watching a movie, and I'm going to prove it.
So I have one more video, but it's I got to figure out the part of it is what I was listening to today while I was laying down, literally with like my hand, my head was hurting so much today, guys. You have no idea. It was miserable.
If anybody knows, it's definitely me. I haven't had one in years, and I don't miss them, and I do not wish them on my worst enemy. So I know what you go through.
Well, and you've been there. You've been there while I've had one as well.
Oh yeah.
And what do? I get up and go back to work.
Yeah, you didn't cry like a little bitch about it.
Nope. I get up and I go back to work, and I keep.
Not you, John.
Sorry, John.
No. The pray for the. Just write a good eulogy for me. I'm dying of a migraine and a hangnail, and I got to get a job. Fuck. Oh, sorry. All right. Just a side note. Everybody loves John's laugh.
So, I'm gonna.
The crazy part is I'm gonna
play a couple of. Sorry, brother. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you fine. I was just saying I had it muted because I was looking for a video on that topic, and then when he said it, that was literally me laughing so loud that you can hear it on the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, it stubbed my toe. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. Tell my wife and kids I love them.
All right. Here we go. This is going to be a couple minutes, okay, guys? But this kind of ties into what I'm talking about.
What you got?
Nothing gets past the most advanced militaries in the world. Okay, when we have this stuff in Israel, I'm sure everybody's seen it. If you haven't, we'll play it for you in a moment. I'm sure everybody's heard about it. Nothing gets past the best intelligence agencies in the world. They're telling us that somehow the intelligence in Israel just failed and they had no idea this was going to happen. Nothing gets past the most secure borders in the world. Somehow these borders just magically fell apart and they just came through all of a sudden and started shooting people. Nothing they don't want to. So ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, and continue to ask questions. This is despicable. The things that I've seen, guys, the videos I can't show you. I can't show you the families on the floor with children crying as they lost their sister. I can't show you that video because a lot of children watch this channel. I just don't want to hurt them. I've seen destruction on both sides. I've seen the blowing up of buildings and children lying out all over the place on both sides. I'm sick of war. I'm tired of it. I'm going to show you what President Trump says here at the end of this video, and then we're going to talk about it more.
Terrorist invasion of Israeli territory, and the murder of Israeli soldiers today, and the brutal murder of citizens is an act of savagery that must and will be crushed. It has to be dealt with very powerfully. This is a time where the United States needs leadership. We don't have leadership. But Israel is at war, and the United States obviously is going to stick with Israel, and strongly. The war happened for two reasons. The United States is giving and gave to Iran $6 billion, $6 billion, over hostages. And, there was a very good trade. They got 5 hostages. We got 5 hostages. Okay, that's the good news. The bad news is, and their hostages were tough, by the way, I have to tell you. That was, okay, let's assume they're doing just fine. But it was 5 for 5. But in addition to that, we agreed to free up $6 billion. And that is an absolute disaster. And I would not be at all surprised if part of that tremendous wealth that they just accumulated went into all of a sudden watching this level of aggression. They didn't have that level of aggression with me. They didn't have it. This would have never happened with me either. You know what wouldn't have happened? Ukraine wouldn't have happened. Taiwan and all this tough talk with Taiwan wouldn't have happened. And what's going on with Israel right now, people were shocked. I wasn't shocked because 2 weeks ago we gave them $6 billion.
$6 billion is what President Trump is linking this to. And before I get into all the
$6 billion.
I'll take $6.
You're telling me. So, a couple of things, right? Israel has the most secure border probably in the world. They have maybe even close to the DMZ in North Korea, because there are people set up all around that border. There was a lady that I heard talking as well, and I'll see if I can find the video, but she was talking about how she worked on the border of Israel. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, if a rabbit ran across the border, she would get woken up to see what it is, right? Now, all of a sudden, the border was open. These people were able to get across with tractors. Obviously, it's all planned. Obviously, it's all from the globalists, the elitists. They're trying to continue to put us in fear and divide us. And I just want to say, everybody that feels one way or another about one side or another side, let's talk about humanity, and let's talk about God, and let's keep Him in everything that we do. And let's remember that the war is good and evil, right? It's not two countries against each other. Just like in Russia and Ukraine, there are good Ukrainian people and there are good people from Russia. There are good people in Palestine and there are good people in Israel. Now, I mean, we can go down an ideology tube if we want to, but the ideology tube is a little bit different when it comes to that, But certain ideologies are evil, and that's the difference. It's evil. It's not a country. It's an evil ideology that's placed out there. So
Ninja brought up a good point. Always with the sixes.
Yep, everything's with the sixes.
Well, picture it in all lowercase letters. Build back better.
That's
BBB, lowercase b's. Yeah. Again, future proofs past. They're showing you what they wanted. It's all a movie, scripted. But I'll wait till my chance.
And then the last thing that I want to play just based on this, and this ties into it as well. So I was listening to, I don't know, those of you guys that don't watch LT and We Know. I love And We Know. He's great
Yeah.
channel, very biblical,
Mhm.
kid friendly. He actually does a really good job editing out curse words and stuff. So you can watch that with your family. But he puts out a lot of good information, a lot of truths. So here's another excerpt from today's show.
Right now, we need to clean house of all of the warmongers and America Last globalists and the deep state, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the national security industrial complex.
Did you catch that? We need to get rid of the warmongers. He's pointing to what? Billions of dollars sent to Iran. He's pointing to warmongers that are in our own three-letter agencies. We have it all. Says he's been right about it all when he says to prepare for World War III. I'd listen. They've been looking for conflict, for war in any form. Israel's one of the biggest. It's probably close to their last Pandora's box. No other country can affect your emotions like Israel. And that is a true statement. If you pick Israel, then you're crazy because the Palestinians are getting destroyed and they are holed up in their little prison in the Gaza Strip and more. They have a right to do what they're doing. If you pick the Palestine side, well, you're anti-Semitic and you hate the Jews. And, oh, by the way, in the churches, they'll say if you don't support Israel, you're not going to be blessed of God. Folks, there's more to this than any of us know. Nobody out there that's doing podcasts, nobody out there that knows it all is even able to tell us what's going on.
Troll.
They can't.
Get rid of them.
And yet what I'm seeing across the board constantly, not from everybody, is fighting. I pick this side, you pick that side. This church picks Israel. This other church picks Palestine. Well, who do you go for? I'm for this side. I'm for that side. They've got us pitted against each other.
So that's where I got that from today, because they have us pitted against each other, right? And there's
Divide
a lot
and
of
conquer.
Divide and conquer. There's a lot of columns too that President Trump has dropped out there as well. So
yeah,
that person's name that came in the chat. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Yappity yap yap. Here's what I want to say about the trolls that come in and don't even pay attention to anything. Come to my house and find out. You'll see what happens.
And he doesn't have a welcome mat because he's not a liar.
Nope, I do not have a welcome mat in my house.
I gotta send it to myself.
Although,
you saw the one.
Here's the thing: if you want to be that type of person that divides us, that's fine. You'll be judged by God. But also, if you think that you're all that in a bag of chips, let's go. We'll do whatever we need to do. But take to my streets and see what happens. My neighborhood, I wouldn't mess around in my neighborhood. There's anyways, we'll stop there.
I've met his neighbors.
Yeah,
They're some of the nicest people. You don't fuck around in his neighborhood.
Yeah, we'll stop there. So anyways, I love it, Todd. I want to welcome Matt that says go away.
Yeah.
So guys, remember, that's what this is about, right? They're trying to divide us. And even those trolls that come in are trying to divide us because they have no idea what's going on. And regardless of here's the thing. I don't have to like you to love you. Yep. But if you mess with my family and you try to hurt my family, you will get hurt. So anyways, that's all I had today, man. That was the military industrial complex. We need to make sure that we remember that that's why they continue to fund these never-ending wars. The Ukraine war wasn't working anymore. They were starting to lose. So do you notice how the House now, they're all like, oh, we need to send money to Israel. We need to send money.
Jim Jordan
said in lockstep with Adam Schiff, with Shifty Schiff. I wonder if that's an exposure tactic. You know what's funny? I don't know if I talked about this yesterday.
I don't think so.
I was in a migraine yesterday. Without a Speaker of the House, they can't pass bills to give money. They can't pass bills to give money.
I'm reversed. But yeah, that's a very, very good point.
I
which
think
is
they vote tomorrow.
ironic that it happened at this point in time. You know, everything's a coincidence, right?
Yeah. I think Jim Jordan is just. I do trust Jim Jordan. Not only that, it's like if you ever seen The Plot Against the President,
Mm-hmm.
he speaks in that too. You know, they had him for commentary. Why would they pick him? No, it will all be explained sooner or later. But
I mean, all we can do is put out information, continue to pray, follow our Heavenly Father, try to bring as many people to Him as we can, and try to expose the truth. You know, instead of the lies that we've been told. Even with the video that you showed yesterday with the dragons, you know, how many lies have we been told? He who writes the history, or he who wins the war, writes the history.
You
really think
I'm telling you, since you told me that, I'll never forget that saying. Thank you. I love it.
I mean,
it's true. It's the truth. It's the absolute 100% truth.
So how much of our history, you know, there's a lot of things out there that maybe some digs and stuff that we haven't gone down, but like Tartaria, and look at these fascinating buildings that were built back in the 1800s and 1700s before they actually had, you know, laser engraving and stuff. You're telling me that there was no tech to build those? You know, the Tesla energy, the free energy that's been hidden from us, you know, these things that are out there, why did they get rid of it? Why did they hide all this stuff? So anyways, that's what I got, Jeff. Unless
I got
you got
something for y'all.
to add to it.
I got something for y'all.
Let's go.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh, I love Todd.
Oh, I've seen this.
At some point, you're going to have to admit something ain't right. Let me put it this way. How long has Ukraine been at war with Russia? And how much money have we sent over there? And during all that time, how much footage have you seen of a war in Ukraine? It's not on your nightly news. Why not? There's no embedded reporters. Why not? Now ask yourself, how long has Israel been at war with Hamas? And how much footage of real carnage in real time have you seen coming out of Israel? Yeah, like I said, something ain't right.
Buckets!
Man, love it.
What's
Something
up,
ain't
Buckets?
right. That's for sure.
Steven, I want that hat too.
Now we know to get
Taking
him a
all
bucket.
Steven's hat.
What are you guys talking
Taking all
about?
Steven's.
That's the hat I
Taking all
started with.
Steven's hat.
Buckets. Just because that you give me an idea, I'm gonna see if we can make a bucket hat just for y'all.
Oh yeah, by the way, we ordered some merch today from the merch store. I
Cheap
got
plug.
Jeff and I both got hats coming.
Yeah, cheap plug. That's okay.
And we got some mugs coming. You know, not off the cuff. I don't know if you can see it. This one I don't think is available anymore, but we do got some mugs coming. What else did we
What
get?
is-
Oh, John got a shirt.
Oh, real quick, Carrie has joined us.
Hey, Miss
Hello,
Carrie. Mossad and CIA are twins. Yep, that is 100%
Yeah.
true. And that's the other thing too, right? The fascinating thing about that. Let's talk about that. How is it that Mossad and the CIA did not see the attack coming in unless it was planned and they let it happen? Common sense, right?
I'm still sticking with the movie theory, but that's okay.
Common sense.
You know it's a movie. Yeah. I do the same thing sometimes. Like when I was living with Judy, I would try to convince her of stuff and she wouldn't see it. Then finally she, oh, this Biden did this. I'm like, oh my God, really? It's just like I just played stupid sometimes. It's like, you know, it gets tiring.
You know, but that's why we got to keep putting out the breadcrumbs,
Oh,
right?
I know. Yeah.
It's all about the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. And what do those breadcrumbs lead to? Puzzle pieces. You got to put it together yourself. I'm going to start with what I said I'm going to start with.
All right, let's go. I'm ready.
If I get choked up, you know where I'm going.
Got your back.
But
got
yeah, most of us found out last night.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Jovo, made this for her, and you just broke my heart into a million pieces. She was a lovely friend. This is terrible news for the one she left behind. May she rest in eternal peace. Thank you so much for letting us know. I've said a prayer straight to the heavens. So, rest in peace, old time Oz fan. Or called her Oz, which a lot of people did. But yeah,
she
and
will
it's
be,
just,
she will be missed.
you know, because it was a few weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, where's Oz?" And you know, I tagged her name. So, and Randall came in, and last night I heard the news, and
yeah, her husband.
you know, she was just such a sweetheart. She really was. It's like she found her way into the group. She stumbled in like a lot of people do. And I remember when I used to make videos the way I did, which I kind of got to get back to that too. This is not a, but I remember on True, she goes, "Oh, yeah." She said something about the videos I'm making. She's like, "I want to be part of the family." So I gave her a shout out, and I guess she made the Rumble account, and she came in, and she was just, she wanted to be a part of something with people. And, you know, she was mostly just emojis. Sometimes she would talk. Very, very short, but she was just trying to find a home, and she found it with us, and she was so appreciative of that, and you know, she'll be missed.
She will be missed. Do you have her husband's truth that he pulled up?
He does not have a true social.
No. What, the one that he sent us out of her account last night, or that he sent to you when you were looking for her?
I could pull
just
it
to read it.
I have the screenshots of it.
And let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, because they do have a Give Send Go that he set up, and apparently he mentioned real quick something that hinted to she was not, she was definitely, but that's the thing about her, is she never led on. You know, she didn't want sympathy from anybody. You know, she just wanted to be a part of something. You know, and she did. She fit right in.
She was amazing, for sure. You know, and she was missed. So that's why we always try to check to make sure that the family is there. You know, some people go missing for a while, and we get to that point where we need to, you know, that's why we look for you guys. So just know we love all of you guys. So here's what she said. This is her husband, Bandana Wolverine, and my wife has been called to the Milky Way, waiting for us to join. Good Lord needed a special angel to fight for the fight coming our way. Godspeed, Oz. It's Carrie Lynn Brito Sarsfield III. Her Facebook is public, and we did an event for her celebration of life. Look and say hello, and follow him on Crosstracks Productions, Eustis, Texas. God bless J6 Prisoner of War. And then, you know, so we just found out last night. I guess she passed August 10th. So,
you know, but Jovo, you know, said, you know, seeming that her husband's not on Truth, at least he had the awareness to go, hey, maybe somebody's asking about her.
Yeah, and then
or something like that.
Us know.
You know.
And then, so here's a couple of things that I sent out. So then we who are alive, who are left, will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will always be with the Lord. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. 1 Thessalonians 4:17 through 18. And then this kind of ties into that. I'm going to bring this up real quick, just because it's 1 minute long, but I think it's worth a show, because we have to remember, guys, life isn't forever.
Yep.
And got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far. Doesn't even matter. I had to fall
You know, it just some other time.
Yep.
No, just just know that she moved on to her next mission.
She was loved. And all of us here at the Great American Podcast, the family, our prayers go out to that family and to all of you out there as well. I want you guys to know that when I'm with the Lord and I'm in conversation with her, that all of you guys are on my mind. Those of you watching, and of course you guys too here at the show. So I love you guys all, and I always ask for God to keep His hand over you and protect each and every one of you guys, because this battle, I said it before and I'm going to continue to say it, the war is long. The battles may be short, but the war is long. You know, we don't know when it's going to end. We keep hoping for it to end, but until the mass awakening happens and the craziness, which it'll always be, I think, until Jesus comes, the war is going to continue, because we're always going to have that spiritual battle until He comes back. So anyways, that was thanks for that, Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. But just know that, you know, the day I found my father, you know, I never got a chance to say goodbye. You know, and I found him, and I don't wish that on anybody either. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I almost spit a name out, but that's neither here nor there. But it's like, you know, when a couple of years ago when I was out in Oregon, you know, I was talking to this one girl, and she said how she lost her father too. And then, you know, and I said, you know, me too. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm going out to lunch with my stepdad today. He was more of a father than anything, you know. And I said, just do me a favor. Just tell him you love him, because you never know. You never know. You know, my dad, it's like my mom was sick in the hospital for a couple of years. She's another story. But, and all of a sudden, overnight, my father, you know, my sister was like, oh, well, you know, do you want to get an autopsy done? And I said, no. She goes, why? I said, Patty, he didn't do drugs. He quit drinking years ago. I said, he died in his sleep. That's how everybody wants to go. That's how we leave it. And she's like, that's what you want? I said, yeah. We you know, we left it at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Carrie said something that actually ties into one more thing. Let me pull this up, and then I'll let you get into your stuff there, Jeff, because what she said is important. I gotta pull it up. All right, here it goes. Now he sat on the Mount of Olives. The disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? And Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of the sorrows. Then they will deliver upon you to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many, and because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Matthew 24:3 through 14. That's that. Miss Carey talked about the earthquakes that happen in Afghanistan, and we have a lot of that going on. A lot of the stuff that the signs at the end of the age talks about in Revelations and Matthew, and you know, you can even go into Jeremiah and some of these other prophecies that talk about the end of times, right? But it's on his time, not our time, and we got to be careful because there's a little thing called Project Bluebeam, and we don't know if it's being manufactured or not. So continue to
General Flynn did not say watch out for a false flag. He said watch out for false flags, plural.
And it's
I'm
important.
gonna.
You know what Project Bluebeam is, John?
Yes, I did. Oh. He's like, does it come medium rare?
So do some research on Project Bluebeam, especially everything going on, because they want.
Bug put one out a while ago with the whales flying in the air.
Yep.
Yeah. Watch out for. But yeah. Can I go now?
Yep. Go ahead. You're up, brother.
Oh, can I go? Oh, my turn. Tag me in. Tag me in.
All right, hold on. I got this. Give me a second. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Run over there and tag him in. Let's go.
Okay, so number one, President Trump. What did he say? I'll never announce my game plan. Okay, so if we know who the real Q is, it is military intelligence. We're saving Israel for last for a very specific reason, never mentioned once. Now, why would the military go ahead and announce their game plan unless it's all scripted and it's already been done? Okay, here's something interesting. I just had to see her picture again, sorry. Oz, we miss you, we love you. That one hurt. But yeah, here we go. Here we go. Thanks, John. So check this shit out. Yeah, you might have seen this.
طلع هيك فبصفي بس في صورة التلفون مش مشكلة كل الأوجاع على الريكورد هي على الريكورد وليت وراه عوني طلع عليه على الجنبي ابعدوا عني كريم محل تسكر عينيك وارجع بس ما تحب تفضل عوني انا اذا بكون قريب خلص بدي اسال بكون قريب لهون بس التلفون بصفي ببين التلفون يعني
Huh. Kind of interesting, huh? I'll get into the Project Bluebeam in a second because this is too good to pass up. When did this war break out? I should do air quotes when I say war, but if people are going to be mad at me, go. I'm trying to prove a point here. When did this war start?
Which one?
This one.
The Israeli war?
Yeah.
October 6th.
3 days?
And today is the 9th.
Oh, tomorrow's a big day, I think. Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anyways, go on.
So this is pretty interesting. Oh, look at LinkedIn. Filmmakers curator, art list, Tel Aviv. Where's Tel Aviv? District of Israel. Yeah, they're looking for filmmakers to film in Tel Aviv, Israel. You don't have to read the whole thing. But yeah, this is on LinkedIn they're hiring film crews.
Interesting.
Want to note something very interesting? Look at the timestamp. 1 week ago.
What the hell?
I'll put that up again.
Hey, by the way, they're adding. Jeff, remember the video that came down that you were talking about?
Which one?
The one with the latex girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just mentioned that in the chat.
Oh yeah, there was I met TJ. I mentioned that yesterday. You could tell it was fake. Again, it's like Isaac Cappy didn't look like that, and he jumped off an overpass allegedly and got ran over. You could tell the way the leg was bent, the way the arm was bent, just the crease of the. They totally blew her kneecap out. You could tell it was fake. That's why they didn't show the face, because they know it's fake. It's all optics.
And you remember in Ukraine, who are all the people that went over to Ukraine in the beginning of the war? A bunch of Hollywood actors and producers, and you may see the same. You know,
Didn't Sean?
I'm not
Didn't
saying
Sean?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not saying that life isn't being killed, because people are getting killed over there. It's happening, but they're also doing a lot of movie stuff too that make it even worse, to make it seem worse.
Or to put on a fake war. I'm going with the movie thing. You can go with what you want. That's okay. That's okay. But didn't Sean Penn give some award to Zelensky?
Mm-hmm.
The real
You remember
Zelensky,
that?
the fake one.
What's that?
The real one or the
Yeah,
fake one?
yeah. Who knows? It's like, who knows? Granted, it's like I think a lot of this is to just trip us up a lot too. You know, just like I think it's because it's weird that a lot of stuff gets put on the internet but then gets scrubbed right away. I think it's to get it out there, and it's pulled down by the white hats because if you I think it was in Hank's Dead or Alive. John, did you ever watch that I sent you? No, of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. But
I came around to it. I promise.
But like the real Tom Hanks is dead. But they said that Trump almost tweeted it out, and they had to tell him, no, don't put that out there. But John, if you could find it, you're gonna have to go to DuckDuckGo to try to find it. Australia announced that Tom and Rita died. And then all of a sudden, and it was in a newspaper. It was a headline in a newspaper. And Steven just froze up. Great face to freeze up on, too.
I get. You know what? Can we do one sheep, two sheep when he gone, and then when he come back?
Yeah, because I have another video that kind of John, get him off the screen.
Bye, Steven.
That was a great face to freeze up on, though.
And that's staying up, and he could go look at it again and enjoy the look on it.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's do this. All right, time's up. Let's do this.
Yeah, bring it on, John. Real quick, A is in the chat.
I was
Before
about to
forget,
say that.
I went to go specifically look, and then I forgot to check. But Anna's in the chat. Hello, A. Sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, you're good. All right, let's do this.
Yes. Just a side note, the circus music and that end can also double as my theme music for my sex life too. Yeah.
Wait till you see what your face looks like when you go rewatch it. It was great.
Yeah. You were just like like you were expecting to eat a certain kind of brownie and found out, oh, it was a different kind.
Hey, now, that may or may not have actually happened.
You told on yourself, not me. Although you did tell on yourself about your birthday too, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Although I did kind of point it out that you told on yourself, so I didn't
know.
help you. Just stir the pot. Call me the ladle, because I stir
in
the
the
pot.
pot.
All right, John, let's do it.
I'll tell you what this world needs right now. It needs all the old school grandpas to come back to life, make you go pick a switch off a tree, bring it back to them so they could tear your ass up with it. And then we wouldn't have to deal with bullshit like this. And just like that, we wouldn't have to deal with any more liberals. We wouldn't have to fight, argue, cancel people. We just need an old man with principles, morals, and a stick.
Get that switch. Get that switch.
Uh,
What you think about that?
I thought it was. You know, I used to get beat with a wooden spoon when I was a child, and when I got beat with a wooden spoon, I didn't want to do what I did ever again.
Yeah.
And then mom one time she said, "Do you want wooden or metal?"
Yeah.
That's a tough decision.
My mom used to get mad because she would break the metal ones on my ass, and I would laugh at her. She would yell because one time years ago during Christmas, my dad was like, took me and my sister out. Okay, we're gonna get your mom something. So I got my mom a metal ladle, and he was like, "Why are you getting her that?" I said, "Because it breaks off when she hits me with it." John, did you freeze too?
No, I ain't freeze. He just magically disappeared.
Again?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go take that thing apart, figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one.
Yeah, sorry, Steven.
Recently had was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who's willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide.
Enjoy your cats. Enjoy your
Damn,
cats.
they getting savage up in there. But she described everything about a conservative man without wanting a conservative man.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
Because she likes mangina.
She wants the heat.
Yeah.
They,
Because
them.
if she has a liberal man, they can go purse shopping together.
Steven said Google is Ash Ho. Uh-oh.
No shit.
Please explain why Google is Ash Ho.
Because Google is shutting down. So I'm running Restream on Google because in order to share on Restream, I have to go on Google, and Google keeps shutting down. That's why I keep disappearing. So I put it on Brave. We'll see if it stays up and how long it stays up for. But yeah,
Brave. A lot of people are raving about Brave.
Yeah, I have Brave. I've been using it, but man, I got to get my son to get this thing fixed because how many times does my computer just shut off? It blue screens. We've changed out the RAM. We've switched. It might be the power supply.
I think I'm gonna have to come over and diagnose it. That's no stress.
Or it could be loose nut behind keyboard.
That's probably it.
Yeah. TJ is leaving us. TJ is going to dinner.
Oh.
Bye, TJ.
See you, TJ. I'm gonna go to dinner here too as soon as we're done.
Sweet.
I think I'm gonna do some some canes or something.
Nice. All right, next to the thing.
Yeah. What else we got? John? I'm sure y'all seen this.
Somebody another component in Randy has.
Yeah, in Hutt, Ontario.
No offense.
Stupid. I remember that.
Thank you, sorry, thank you. Fuck off, wait.
Oh my god.
I was behind him. He said, fuck off, wait.
Fucking seriously? I'm sorry not to cuss that much, but what the hell?
People are so stupid.
It's off the cuff, so it don't matter. Yeah, I couldn't find the one, but there's one where this lady walks outside of the store and she's spraying Lysol in the air outside. It's like, lady, you're can't find it though. But John, last but not least.
Hold on. I'm gonna send myself one that I'm gonna add, but I'll take it. I got it.
In the meantime, I have something for Steven. Hold on one second. Oh, hold on 1 second.
Seeing as we're already on stupid people doing stupid shit.
But I got something for Steven. There you go. There's your round to it. You said you got to get around to it. So there you go. Womp, womp, womp. But that's okay. Yes, Terry, Yandex is Russia. Yandex is the Russian version of Google.
It just does not want to send this. Hold on. I'm trying to get it to work. All right, I got that one pulled up. It might just appear.
Yes.
Oh, it's got a cord. It's got a what you call on the side.
There's a gap underneath it.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
And she was wearing a mask too. It's
That
like
gets better. I'm sorry, Jeff.
no, that's all I had. So what else you got?
Still waiting. It still ain't pull up.
Okay, well, let me get back into mine because I'm almost done. So, but here is another one. That hold on one second. Let me. And I want to see if you notice something about this video.
I know
Some of you might have seen it because it was going around last night, but maybe you.
Oh yeah,
Steven, I want to know if you noticed something. Now, this is supposedly a war-torn country right now with this war going on. Let me see if you.
I saw that one today too.
سماء مدينة بيت حنون.
Yeah. So, what didn't you see?
Missiles.
Right.
Did you see the brown?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tunnel job, maybe. Remember the video I shared yesterday, the 1,500-mile long tunnel.
Kind of has it reeks of 9/11.
Yeah. Like I said, you're watching a movie. So, again, it's like, why would Q say Israel last? Very specific reason, never mentioned once, but yet, again, why would you announce your game plan? Because it gives your enemy time to prepare. But remember when I said before it was a Q drop? I can't find it, but one of the Q drops was crash before declass. Now, you have to crash the stock market before you declassify everything. There's going to be a lot of things happening. And obviously, it's going to be happening soon because they're saving Israel for last. Now, all the stuff is happening in Israel, the EBS test. You know, it's like, come on. But I have something here that somebody shared out the other night that's kind of interesting and a little financial, but it ties in with crash before declass. Iraqi people overseas are unable to withdraw funds from their bank cards either in IQD or USD. This means that the IQD is no longer exchangeable. That means all transactions for Iraq are at a standstill. This cannot continue for more than a few hours, days at most. Let's fucking go. Seems like it's almost go time.
Amen.
And you have to do it in for Nasara Jassar to really happen. You have to. It has to be given to poorer countries first because they need it the most. So you're going to see it rolled out to people like us last. But it's just funny that Iraq can't withdraw Iraqi dollars or U.S. dollars. So that means something's switching over. Oh.
Yeah, so they have the dinar that they've been talking about a lot in Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be backed by gold.
Yeah, because it was already backed by gold because Saddam was putting his oil on the gold standard. Guess who doesn't want that? Oh, the deep state, the bad guys. Oh, you want to be for your people? Well, I don't think. I honestly, I think Saddam and Muammar Gaddafi are tucked away nicely somewhere, nice and safe. So that's pretty much all I have. Anybody else want to talk about anything? Anybody want to come on? Oh, speaking of coming on, well, tomorrow night we have Unhinged with Cammy and Jeff, and Wednesday for Torque Talk. Anybody who wants to come on, it's open forum, no politics. It doesn't have to be necessarily horsepower or anything like that. Whatever you want to talk about. But yeah, no politics though. But if anybody wants to come on, DM either me, John, or Steven.
Anything with a motor.
Yeah.
Anything with a motor.
Could be who did the commercial for the Powered Sure? Your Powered Sure? That and Wilford Brimley with the diabetes.
Oh my lord. Oh yeah. Y'all want to see something dumb?
Yes.
People
I
do
got
dumb?
something. I got something dumb after your dumb thing.
Let's go. See what's in her hand already?
Well, now you're famous.
Stupid is as stupid does.
And no, this reminds me of Great Adventure. Great Adventure is the New Jersey Six Flags. There's a Six Flags in Texas somewhere too, right?
Yep.
Do you know
Where
what
does
the
I think
Six
it
Flags
started in
is?
Texas, Dallas, huh?
Do you know what the Six
What's the
Flags
name of it?
Six Flags.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but there's a name. But there's a name for the theme park itself.
I think it's the original Six Flags. Hold on, I'll pull that up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, there's a reason why they have fences around rides like that, because when you drop stuff, you know the Great American Scream Machine, right? Well, some kid dropped his hat. His hat fell off. What did he do? He went over the fence to get it, and well, yeah, he lost his head literally. Like when it was coming around, the girl. Oh, it was what the coaster where your feet hang over. But she literally kicked his head off. It's no joke. It was Six Flags New Jersey. So there's a reason why. Look up like top 10 most dangerous theme parks. New Jersey is on there with Action Park. It's closed now, but
Jerry said the original Six Flags was in Houston.
Ah.
So there's two in Texas. Six Flags Over Texas and Six Flags Fiesta. Texas.
But yeah, there was an Action Park in Jersey that there was just so many deaths there. On the TV series Jackass, when they were on MTV, they actually went there because it was closed, and Johnny Knoxville did the Alpine slide. It's a cement slide that you basically you're on a skateboard, and there's nothing around you to stop you. People are just. Ugh. But yeah, it's good to see that New Jersey is always in the negative with when it comes to news. Thank God, people are like, "Oh, would you ever go back to Jersey just to visit?" That's it.
So speaking of Six Flags.
Oh yeah.
No joke. This is what people are doing.
Put your mask on.
Get away from
Put
me,
it
please.
on. For freedom. Stop it. Whoa, whoa.
This guy in Michigan came up with this idea. 6 feet apart. Oh yeah. For extreme measures of self-isolation. It gets the point across.
So you can wear it comfortably all day. Share your smile. Z-Shield wraps your face.
On prend une bouchée et on remet le masque. On prend une bouchée et on remet le masque.
Wear your mask.
I shouldn't have to make it fun. It's science. It's science.
The one with that old guy that followed the woman around in Target, he eventually walked away. I love her reaction to him. She goes, "I know who you voted for." Fucking burned.
People are
Burned.
supposed to- like, do you remember
What-
how
what-
stupid they were? I mean, seriously, it was crazy. You know, and now
Oh, look at the hat.
the
Look at the
same
hat.
thing- What happened?
What the heck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways. Okay.
But Terry brought up a good point today because I've said the same thing. Like some of this, like we talked about yesterday with when the Ukraine and Russia war broke out. Oh my God, look at all the destruction. It was just a reverse image of some, like not Saudi Arabia, but somewhere else, like Somalia or something. It's like, yeah. What about the one in Ukraine where the building blew up? The woman just picks up a boulder and just takes it out. You don't. Some of this footage, there's no timestamps. There's no timestamps on the video, so you don't know when it happened. They could just be recycling old footage. Steven's on his phone. He's looking
Yeah.
for a new hat. He's looking for a new hat.
Anyways, hey, so y'all want to learn something cool?
No. I definitely want to learn something cool. Do it.
All right. So, do you know what Six Flags represents?
No.
Let's go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, but it's 6 too. Oh, there's the
It's
6
Six
again.
Flags over Texas. That's the original park. And the
Angus, what a great name that is.
Right. He imagined a park larger in scope than even Disneyland. And so he created the Six Flags Over Texas, which opened in 1961. Was named Six Flags of Texas, a display of flags representing the six countries whose flags have flown over the theme park. Designed after the families drilling close to home. It represents the Six Flags of Texas. The six countries that have been over Texas.
Ah, okay. Because I was going to say, isn't there like more than six theme parks now? There's like 7 because they built another one somewhere.
Deep in
There's
the heart
supposedly
of Texas.
wasn't there a new one? Where were we? I think me and John weren't we somewhere where they're building a. No, I think I was in Florida still, but they're building another one somewhere. I think Nevada or something that's going to be way bigger than Disney World. I need a price check on that, but no, they're building some new one, and it's not woke or into trafficking.
Ooh. Also, there we go. Speaking of the merch store.
Another hat change again for Steven.
What are you talking about?
Wardrobe.
Same hat.
I thought I was bad.
I was checking to see if anybody would catch on. I thought it would be funny. My boys were like, "Dad, you should just take them all upstairs and switch them every now and then."
That's like the first video I did with the Runco. It's like, did you all notice how I kept changing wardrobe? It's like, I want to see if anybody knows. I'm sure they're going to.
Ooh.
Speaking of
what?
I don't know.
Oh, we have fresh out ideas. Anybody else got anything to go on?
Nah, this migraine's killing me. I might need to go take another anti-nausea pill.
All right. I guess we're gonna send it out from here.
What are you gonna play? What do you got? What do you got to send it out?
My sending out video.
Which
Copyright
one?
strike?
One you made? Let's do a
Yeah.
copyright strike one.
Oh, let's go! Don't get me started. Hold on.
Hold on, I got one.
Oh, let's do Deep in the Heart of Texas, seeing as you already done sang the song.
Well, Steven's got one. So John, yours is to take us out. So Steven's got a video.
Let's see if I can find it. I think that this is important with what's going on right now. And it's a good way to finish up. And then John can take us out with Deep in the Heart of Texas. Because we all know how much we love Texas. Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Hold on.
Oh, I love Texas. Is that what you're going to ask? Because,
Yeah.
again, I felt at home here the second I got here. I was like, I'm finally home. Florida, I wasn't fucking feeling it. It's amazing how Kay called it. She goes, Florida's not your home, Jeff. I was like, how do you know that? Because I was just thinking that the other day. I said it to myself. And now it's like, I'm home.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Sure. What do you got? I should have known. No sound.
No sound.
That's all right. It's just the intro. It's not. It's just Chris Jericho's little theme music.
You know what it is?
What's that?
It's the stupid Brave.
No, because you look at the volume button and go back. The volume button's down.
There we go.
With eyes closed tightly, I march so blindly, pretending everything's fine, 'cause you're there to keep me in line. I don't want your guidance, I'll break my silence. So sick of asking and being denied, and now I realize we're holding the gate to unlock our destiny. We were born to lead. We're finally free, no longer following. We were born to lead. We were born to lead. You can't ignore me. You can't think for me. Your world will come crashing down to the ground, 'cause I figured you out. We're holding the gate to unlock our destiny. We were born to lead. We're finally free, no longer following. We were born to lead. We were born to lead. I don't think so, not loyal, ladies. I don't think so. We were born to lead. People are screwed up like Hogan's got. I used to think I'm all alone, but now I see our numbers grow. I'm not afraid to break away, think on my own. You better not be afraid to break my will. I will break your will. You pay for all of this. With eyes wide open, my new life begins. Without you there to tell me when, where, and how, and you can't stop me now. We're holding the gate to unlock our destiny. We were born to lead. We're finally free, no longer following. We were born to lead. We're holding the gate to unlock our destiny. We were born to lead. We're finally free, no longer following. We were born to lead.
Just give us a little bit more rundown. I mean, seriously, the Texas Youth Summit, guys, it happens every year. You guys went last year too, didn't you? And who spoke last year? Same, right? We had Kayleigh McEnany was there. Trump Jr., but he spoke. He didn't speak live this year. Ted Cruz was there as well.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a good movement going on, and it's important. It's important for our youth and our young ones to understand the difference between the pleasures, the fleshly desires of the devil, and what's true to our Heavenly Father. And they're pushing feelings, right, guys? They're pushing do what feels good. And feelings are great and all, right? That's what we enjoy, but that's fleshly desires, and that's not right. That's not right. There's a difference between right and wrong. So, anyways, go on. Give us a little bit more rundown on what you guys experienced while you were there.
Well, obviously, the event being free for those under the age of, I believe, 25, there were a lot of younger people there, and that was great. It's great to have younger people involved in events like these, especially considering where the far left activists have really taken over, all the radicals, is with the youth. And that's a horrible thing, something they kept bringing up. If you control the youth, you control the future of the government, right? And targeting the youth is really something that needs to be far more prevalent from our party, from the conservative movement. If we keep the youth and the Democrats keep getting away with brainwashing the youth, what's going to happen? They're going to control the next generation, which that's not good for the future of this country. Like Yamin Park said, that's how we're going to turn into the next North Korea.
In another hat.
Well, y'all, I think Johnny's going to send us out with something. I'm going to watch here. I won't say bye after this because I may have to go. I'm feeling nauseous right now. The migraine's kicking my ass. But I love y'all. Thank you guys for being here.
Love you too. You just got to go because you ran out of hats to change.
Yeah, I did. Anyways, what do you got, John?
Deep in the heart of Texas.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. The sage in bloom is like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, deep in the heart of Texas. And to all my fellow Texans out there, y que se oiga bonito mi energía norteña. The coyotes wail along the trail, deep in the heart of Texas. The rabbits rush around the brush, deep in the heart of Texas. The cowboys cry, Kahipiya, deep in the heart of Texas. The dog is ball and ball and ball, deep in the heart of Texas. Energy boys.
Good way to take us out, John.
Viva Texas. That's all I got to say.
Arriba.
With that
Love
being
y'all.
said, I hope you get better. We're praying for you, brother. Don't forget to like, share,
Share.
Let's go. We did it all at the same time. No, we
Yeah.
didn't rehearse that.
Go, gay!
And hit that notification bell and hit that like button. We
And don't
will
forget-
see you
tomorrow.
For
Tomorrow.
Unhinged. With
And then on
Tammy
Wednesday,
for
Torque Talk.
Talk.
Again, if you want to be on the show, again, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but it's non-political, so
and
I don't think the CIA will be hunting you down on a car show.
no,
Or
they hunt us
whatever.
down. They hunt us down, but that's a different story. And then we are working on a day show that's going to be prayer talk. We'll talk about that more as we go, but that's just kind of in the works. Plus the Great American Youth podcast we're working on as well with the boys, trying to get them to put something together. I asked them if they wanted to, and they said yeah. So we'll see what we can do with them.
That's why I had to put them at the end of the video, just because I want to show that, again, not all of this youth is lost or brainwashed. You know, that's why I had to make a point. Oh, who told you? Did anybody tell you to go there, or did you go on your own? No, we went on our own to show that you don't have to force your kids into what they don't want to do. They wanted to go on their own.
Teach them common sense, and then they'll figure out what's right and wrong.
To where the left will bring their 3-year-old to a drag show. That's a great place to bring your kids.
And tell their 4-year-old that it's okay to transition your gender and take gender crap. Anyway.
They don't realize it is a satanic sacrifice to change your gender. Satanic sacrifice.
Speaking of
But they don't look at it that way because it's a cool thing to do. Hey, look, it's like that meme I made with the woman in the doctor's office with her little boy. But mommy, I like being a little boy. I know, Jimmy, but me and other mommy don't. It's the parents. It's sick.
Anyways, you know what I taught
We
my
gotta go.
niece? We gotta go, yeah. But you know what I taught my niece? Anytime she sees somebody in a face mask in the store now, she goes, bah!
I love it.
Beat the team sheep. Alright, with that being said.
With that said, love y'all.
America.
I got a Harley Davidson shirt on, so.
And Viva Texas.
But Harley Davidson is American made, so.